So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. And today we're winding down on a very, very special wine just because I thought I was going to be shelling out 23 euros. It turns out it was $14.99 when I got to the checkout downstairs at the bodega. So excited about it. This is a 2020 Grand Veneur. It's a Côte du Rhône from Alain Jean. And it is fabulous. I opened it up recently just for the New York Times. I've yet to refill it. I wanted to see if there was any calming presence the oxygen would give it over the, say, 15 minutes that I spent doing that grid to getting into this one. And the nose is the same, which is remarkable. It is fruity, red, primarily cherry. You got some black stone fruit in it. But what's so interesting about this one, and if you get your hands on a bottle of it, tell me if I'm right, but it feels like I'm smelling olive, like green olive trees in it. It's like the backdrop to the fruit. No green olives on the palate. But yes, a few minutes with some oxygen has definitely calmed it a slight bit, but it was not necessary at all. It's just mellowed a little bit more from before, but it has got that wonderful cassis, velvety smooth finish, just perfect on the acid. Tannins are negotiable. And to be quite honest with you, you know, it's somewhere in between. Looking at the keyboard, it's not the deepest red, but it's not the lightest red, and it's got a fantastic platinum halo between the crystal and the edge of the wine. So beautiful. Good dendrils if you count that. If you're looking at the viscosity, then that is something for you to understand. It's got good viscosity, but it is wonderful. Fantastic, fantastic finish. Not unlike that Doppio Passo from yesterday. This would be one of those that you definitely want to buy for that special dinner with that special someone, because this is quite good. Or if you're like me and right now your special someone is 3,500 miles away, then while thinking of them and having that dinner with yourself and that wonderful bottle of wine, because remember, we always have something to be happy about, and that's the best thing ever. Better save some of that for whenever I'm either yank slapped or I somehow earn a two-peat. We're going to find that out, right? Anyway, fantastic wine. Super. So let's hop into our grid and see what we got today. Still beaming a bit from yesterday, but I know these are only fleeting at best. For I am not stupid. For stupid I am not. I think Yoda might say. Let's see. So we got a bunny box. Well, I don't know if y'all spell coop, C-O-U-P-E. I think it's a rabbit something. We would call it a rabbit coop in the States, but that would be C-O-O-P. And so I don't know what that's going to be yet, but I don't even know if this is right. Clearly, there's no way to know. I'm just hoping. Asian and Ethiopian goat. Well, that's true, but you can also hunt these suckers in the Alps. So contract, muscle, got an X at the end, going with flex, because why not? Why not? We can do it. For example, 8 and 3. Could be a rallying cry, I guess. Expect nothing more, nothing less. If that's rallying cry, that would be a Y. This would be an N. Wintry, could be snowy. So I think if this is a C, is there any way to know? Pincered stinger at 8. Yeah, it sure could be a C. How about a scorpion? I tell you what, the desert scorpions in Iraq, and I spent a lot of my life in Iraq. Oh. Yeah. Ooh. But the camel spiders? I don't know. I don't know if they were actually, I don't know. Rumor was that they were poisonous. Some said they weren't. I don't know, but they were huge. They were huge and hairy and big, like you're just, and they run so fast and, I don't know how we didn't discharge our firearms within our tents there. I'm telling you, they just showed up all the I've got photographs of these things. Big tough maneuver officers and NCOs running around like you wouldn't believe. It was just the funniest thing I imagined, but no, don't care for those things at all. Toward oneself could be inwardly. So U.S. National Park. Okay. Well, so far, man, we're kicking right along here, doing just fine and dandy. Highly prized and cute. Oh, no. That could come from the French by the very definition, bijou. Bijou. I always call Shotzi mon chouchou. Mon chouchou, mon petit chou. I don't think she really cares for mon petit chou. And she's like, well, you're basically calling me a Brussels sprout. Yeah, a little cabbage, right? I guess so. But I mean something nice by it, so I don't think she likes that. That's why I typically tend to just stick with Shotzi. Sharing, anagram, Caribbean song. I'm gonna have to have something to go with. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be guessing. I mean, I don't think I can get Kingston Town in here. I mean, oh God. Advertisement, maybe a plug. Trudge could be to plod. All right, spicy soybean liquid, and I think that's, well, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be sauce either way, but it's probably hoisin sauce. I don't know. Sharing, anagram. Caribbean song. Caribbean song. 14 across. 7 letters. 14 across. Tawny bone. Metal block. How about an anvil? Lawyer, I'm assuming, is an attorney. But aren't they barristers or something there in the UK? It's so hard for me to keep up with that. Famed. Okay, we got that I there. I think I can probably safely put in hoisin sauce. Or if we really want to make it French, hoisin. Famed. Okay. Describing a curved camera lens. Famed. With that I. Okay, this TH here helps a little bit. I think we got a rabbit hutch. Come to speak of it, we did call them that too, but very rarely. Mostly a rabbit coop and a chicken coop. If it was a small home of some sort for farm animals, it was a coop where I came from anyway. Lovey. Okay, so I think this is what we would call a theater person, and I think y'all call these thesps. I've also heard it said thespies. For thespian, I'm assuming, right? Famed, I guess, could be historic. And again, by the very definition. So here we've got this I and this H. So describing a curved camera lens could be fisheye. All right. Nothing more, nothing less. This is WYSIWYG, isn't it? WYSIWYG. This is something that we always used in in the art department when I was in the creative business, when I was a production artist and later a creative director, WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get. We're always shooting for a printer. This is back in the early 90s when, I mean, I was barely old enough to vote, but wanted to be able to have a printer that would print exactly what we were seeing on that very rare and highly expensive big color monitor that were just huge. But we had the perfect colors going, Pantone, everything was there, RGB, CMYK, it was all matched beautifully. And how do I find a setting to get the printer to give me WYSIWYG, right? You know, it was always the big thing. But I've never considered it in that. Expect nothing more, expect nothing less, right? What you see is what you get. I've never even thought of it as being used in polite society. It could all be wrong, but it fits, and that's what I think it is. So, sharing, I don't know, but this Y here from attorney looks like this now could be Calypso. Well, I'm on my way to see. Sharing. Okay, so now I'm going to have to sit here and work this out because nothing's coming to me. Sharing, an anagram of sharing. I guess I've got garnish in here. And I guess that's a way to share. And maybe it is in British vernacular. But in Yank vernacular, this would be like, you haven't paid child support or the government overpaid you for your tax refund, so then they're going to garnish your wages. And I imagine it's a way of sharing your wages. It works. I love it. If anybody's got any insight on that, I'd really appreciate it. Let me go in and check all. I actually feel really good about this. So I'm going to be surprised if it's awful. You got enough times. I never feel like I'm getting anything out of it the one time. Looks like we did okay. Looks like we got another W here, and that's fantastic. I'm glad I left some wine to toast that. To the setter, madam or sir or madam, this is fantastic, whoever you may be. I really wish I had an opportunity to get to know one of you, or the one of you. I think you'd have the best job on the planet. I'd give anything to be a setter. That'd be really a cool job. I could do that. Fantastic grid. Such a pleasure to do today. Love seeing WYSIWYG. Got to know more about that. Got to know more about garnishing in the UK. That's especially a big time for me. Those two are right there, the ones that I'm not quite sure of. Otherwise, I was able to ferret out what everything else was. It all made sense to me. But garnish is the sharing. And of course, the WYSIWYG, is that just a normal thing? Or is this something that the setter's going to be throwing at everybody in the UK and everybody's going to be going? And only the people in the art departments of various publications and advertising agencies are going to get that. I don't know, but I think it's really cool. So we'll bring down a Garnier Dadu, Benny Dadu Garnier. We're going to start sharing everything. Just want to say thank you all so very much. Christopher's Eve's coming up on Friday. If we were better organized, we might have a live event or something like that just for that. But going to have some friends over that evening, so I'm going to have to get off of work a bit early that day so I can come home and get the grids done, because I don't want to let anybody on this end down by watching me try to solve these things 3 sheets to the wind or in a pickle. And if you don't know the etymology of the term in a pickle, it's quite interesting. It's gruesome, but it's quite interesting. You should check that out. In the meantime, until we see tomorrow, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. So be a good friend to see your neighbors and all that good stuff, right? Be nice to that person behind you in the line. That's the biggest thing. And thank you so much. My name is Christopher. I'm delighted you're here to solve this grid with me. Be well. Take care. Cin-Cin. Toodle pip.